their chances are ultimately like null and void.
There he is.
I just started the stream exactly as he came in. That's perfect.
Tommy is never late. He writes precisely what he means.
1 minute. The streak continues. I was telling John how I'm too busy right now making my auction bid for the to help with the demolition of the Trump casino. Because they're taking it's for charity, so they're taking bids to blow up the former Trump casino.
I'm totally okay with all this stuff.
And I was telling John how depressing Atlantic City is when I visited.
I've been there once. It was fun when I was there.
Were you there during the summer?
Yeah. But
go when it's not the summer.
Oh, it's probably the worst. Last time I was there, what is it? Me and Buddy of mine went, and we went to go play some. We were gambling. He was playing 3-card stud, and I played like roulette and blackjack. And I ended up cashing out just because I didn't win anything. And I go to him, and I'm like, "Hey, how you doing?" And he looks back at me like this, and he's like, "About $2,000 up, and they comped us a room." And I was like, and he's like, "So, yeah, go change room at the club tonight." And I'm like, "Okay, cool, sweet, all right." got my evening plan.
It works.
Yeah, didn't spend a dime.
Whatever works.
Whatever gets you through the day.
I mean, basically, right?
It's great, John. I can see your reflection in the windows behind you, so now I can see all your other tabs.
And all 100 screens.
Why are you on Parlor, John?
Jesus.
I just don't want you guys to know when I turn on Apex and tune out of the show.
Just send me an invite when you do, and I'll join you.
We can talk about 40K while we play. I don't see what the issue is.
Hey, make it interesting.
I just
the game I play
it.
with is, or the PC I play on is the one that I use to stream now.
Oh,
because for whatever reason, the slightly older one, OBS isn't working correctly on. So,
whoops.
And I don't want to put in the effort to fix it.
Delicious.
Yeah, I uninstalled and reinstalled the Apex.
Oh, let's see if that works.
So hopefully it works.
It should.
Are we popular enough yet? We're playing with us on Apex as a contest.
No.
All right, just checking.
Maybe for you.
Yeah, I'm entering a contest to already play with you guys that I already play with.
Yes. It's the only way you can win.
Wig.
Hello, Robor. 223. Just telling the truth.
He's being real.
Let's see. Did you guys have a chance to look at the show notes? I know John did.
Your show notes?
Tom?
No, I did, I think. Yeah, I did.
I think.
Yeah, I did. I can only contribute to one of the 7 points.
Perfect.
Is that listener questions?
Yes. Hey,
it's more or less from.
List I don't want to do is the one thing you're going to contribute to. That's fine. It actually evens out then, I suppose.
Hey, longtime co-host, first-time listener. Or is that John?
It's basically from oldest to more recent, more or less. Well, not really, but get that out of the way.
Ah, man. Starting to get old. I could start feeling the arthritis kick in, the carpal tunnel. Good grief.
You're the youngest person on this cast. You can't be like that.
Yeah, I know, but I got my rheumatism.
Oh, Robor223 says he'd enter that contest. I don't know who that is. They've never watched or commented before, so.
Well, Robar, the first thing is you have to be pure of heart.
You know, Alehorn should pay us for this product placement. I just realized when I drink and I put it up, the Alehorn logo comes up on the screen.
Oh, nice.
So we should get paid for product placement. Just saying. You should get on that, Adam. And then make sure you never give us any of the money, as usual.
Yeah. So it works.
And then they were subsequently sued for product placement.
Yeah.
You featured our brand in your content. We'd like you to stop.
But we have quality content. Yeah.
Stop featuring your content? No, just stop content, period.
Stop content.
Yeah.
All right.
Stop having your content on Twitch or anywhere else.
Unless exciting things happen for some of us, then this is the last show till the new year.
Yeah.
And that means basically a 3 week, because the 7th will be the next show.
Cool.
And that will be the contest. The contest winners.
Not cool. Lame.
Well, you're not involved. You're not. Or I haven't looked at the.
You know what? You just ruined my joy of contest. Period. So this is what happens.
Well, I haven't looked at the haikus yet, so I don't know if any of them are related to you,
Don't
John.
plan on looking at the haikus, so it's good.
But you have to vote this time because you're not.
You just
involved.
tell me the number of entries, and I just pick a number.
Okay. That's okay too.
I mean, I might read them. We'll see. It depends. When you guys start to talk about certain ones being funny, then I'm like, okay, fine, I'll read it. So it depends on the quality, people. If you want me to actually read your haiku, they better be good.
Or hope he picks your number.
Or hope I pick your number randomly out of a hat.
With a random number. There are 20 entries right now.
Perfect.
So
I'll just roll a d20.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm going to roll the old dodecahedron.
Dodeca.
Whamma, bamma, whamma, whamma, bam.
All right, do you want me to count you in? Since we
Everybody sound okay, John?
4,000 years. I don't know, whatever.
What do you mean to play us out?
Okay, everything's recording.
Okay, ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, you're on.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of TFG Radio, at least the last episode for the year, as far as we know. As you can see or hear, if you were listening to it earlier, we have John once again on the Wheels of Steel, and we have Tom.
Been a while.
It's been, what, three episodes?
It's been 3 episodes. Yeah, the end of the year is usually
month and a half. The glory
It's
of
been long enough.
I know. You'd think I'd be on these shows more before the year of Tom, right?
The year of Tom precludes you having to be there. You have to be on the show more so we can make fun of you.
I know, that's my point. I don't want to be on the show more next year because you're going to make fun of me.
Well,
I actively avoid pain as opposed to most of you.
I do have a high tolerance.
I don't know about
that. You are a Roman Catholic.
Irish Catholic.
Which is worse.
That's why I'm mentioning it.
No, and he's second edition Catholic?
I mean, second edition.
You prefer before the council?
Oh, yeah. That's actually, well, that would
technically be second edition?
Well, if
because
you
it's
really
the
want to
second
go,
council.
True, but if you want to go in terms of other, you could argue it's third edition.
We're currently in third.
I'm an originalist. Priests can get married, and they're appointed by the king.
John is a rogue trader era.
It's not at all what originally happened.
John wants to go back to persecution.
I'm a pre-Gregory. They can get married, have kids. The king's got a say in who the bishop was. I would like to be appointed Bishop of Los Angeles by King Newsom.
Oh, God.
Lord Governor Newsom. Oh, man.
So this started off well.
Yes.
Good night, everybody.
If you're still with us,
we haven't lost anybody from the chat.
So we're gonna. A few things happened
Really?
since the last episode. If Tom will just stop talking.
Oh my God.
It's not gonna happen.
You guys are assholes.
Wait, I'm trying to check.
I don't remember ever claiming not to be.
I'm trying to remember. I think I can mute Tom, or I think John would have to mute Tom.
No, I'm not. No, you're in charge of the squad, guys, not me.
Let me see. Now, it just tells me his location. It's like when I send the drones.
You can silence him via drone strike.
That's one way to do it.
I'm in danger.
Well, obviously, I don't need congressional approval. So,
Born Again Manchild says we're assholes, maybe, but it's what the people want. See, this is what I've been saying. This is what I've been saying for the entire iteration of this show. I was right all along. Thank you, Born Again Manchild.
So if you've been listening to the chatter the last couple of weeks, especially 2 weeks ago, there's been a few issues with GTs, mainly one GT, and that involved, once again, as we mentioned before,
GTs in air quotes, by the way.
Attempted GTs.
Some would say they were abortive.
It involved basically cooking the books in terms of numbers on the GT end, on the organizer's end, along with some other stuff that if you're part of Comp40K or any of the competitive Facebook groups or Reddit, then you already know about it.
Reddit, don't. That's just a joke.
Hey, people were there too.
Yeah, and then the thread got shut down immediately and blocked.
Yeah, by the government.
No. That was the Dan Carlin Common Sense group. That got zucked. And deservedly so. That group was a wretched hive of scum and villainy. Group was the worst.
Good grief.
Oh God, I'm looking at your memes, John.
Me too. These are great memes.
So essentially what happened was the tournament in question tried to do a basically one GT a day, one on a Saturday, one on a Sunday.
Which apparently is called an Ironman and is not a thing.
Yeah, because they try to do 5 games in one day, which the current rules under ITC rules just says it needs to have 5 games and X amount of players, and that's basically it. There's no, and I think
there
5
used
rounds.
To be a day requirement.
No, because I remember
GT was defined as 2 days at one point.
No, because when we did an RTD one time when Travis was still manager of the store, and we had I think 40 players at one point, and that included Reese and Frankie were there also. And we asked them if we can do 2 more games and just call it a GT. And maybe just have like the top 12 or something, like have like a cutoff and just have the top 12 play on, but everyone was tired, so we didn't do it.
Their answer was not yes. To be clear, to everybody who just listened to that and thought, oh, blah, 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 their answer was not yes.
To be clear.
So
thank God I'm on this show with you tonight, Adam. Jesus Christ, man.
I'm distracted by all the memes. And so basically
Pornhub anymore. There's like 5 videos.
That Yoda one made me mad. That Yoda one made me so mad just now.
I love that Yoda one. Okay, keep going.
It was brought to people's attention that there were a number of drops after the first round, which is not uncommon, but that 1 or 2 people would drop, but that when multiple people drop, especially over the course of a tournament,
when it's their first tournament,
in the first tournament, which barely had enough, I think they have 30 players total, and then as the game progressed, it got to fewer and fewer players, which players dropped, but I don't think the amount of players that dropped in this particular GT, quote in air quotes, is normal. I think
and then also there were 2 ringers because the TO was playing and they had a ringer.
Well, it's funny because the TO never said he was a ringer; he was just playing. And then they had another ringer who happened to be the reigning ITC champion,
and who may or may not have been acting as in the capacity of a judge.
Yeah, that was also mentioned that he was judging also. So he was a judge, player, and ringer.
See, I find nothing wrong with any of this. So I don't know what you're talking
about. Triple threat. So there's multiple issues in this whole thing, so it's kind of confusing. One is the ringer. Now, ITC doesn't have a definition for a ringer
yet.
GW kind of did back when they ran events, which is where most tournaments get their definition of a ringer.
Yeah.
Because normally a ringer is someone that is more or less how they used it at this GT, where they're the one there to like basically beat down everybody else. That's the normal definition of a ringer. In GT, in our grand tournaments and regular RTTs, a ringer is basically someone to fill a space. So you have an even number of players and someone gets to play 40K. And normally the ringer is one, they're not registered in the event, so they don't count towards how many people are in the event. And two, they don't usually have a strong army, or if they do, the player they play against just gets the auto win anyway, and they just play against a strong army just to play a game.
They get the buy win points, and you just play the game, but they automatically get the buy win, which is probably the better solution in any situation. The ringer shouldn't be actually in competition, despite what Texans seem to think.
And the ringer shouldn't be
playing a killer list.
They shouldn't be. Well, they can bring a killer list as long as whoever they play against that has the bye gets the win.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So the issue becomes the ringer basically winning out, and then all of a sudden dropping as he gets to like.
And if you're concerned about like the fidelity of the round by like, well, this person shouldn't get an auto win, that's fine. I mean, then have them play a game, but then the most the ringer can get is a draw. The ringer shouldn't be allowed to win a game. If they do win, both players get a draw, and the draw is the points of the loser. Is the way that you should do that. Like if you're wanting to have the person actually compete for that win, that should have the bye. That's fine. If you want them to actually compete for the win, I get that. But then the worst they can do should be a draw.
But even then, a draw almost like doesn't even give that person the player that got the bye a chance to win the tournament.
I mean, you came to play. Sorry, it's a competition. You came to play.
Next time, lose better.
Yeah, like you came to play. You shouldn't like. I've always had a problem with the buy round auto win, anyways, because like it's a competition. You came to play, so you should first of all have a game. And if you can't have a game, why like the auto win thing seems not good.
But isn't that part of the compromise though? Is that you get the auto win, but it's like a mid-level score. So
normally,
in a bigger tournament, it actually ends up being fine. You only get screwed if you're a buy at an RTT.
Yeah, and right now ITC doesn't have a mechanism, or the mechanism it had, which was giving, I think it was 20 points, isn't sufficient for the new mission format.
Right.
And there were complaints, not from a lot of people, but there were complaints that even when we were using ITC missions, that the 20 points wasn't enough, because even if you got the win, you only got 20 points, and it was never enough to win, especially in RTT.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to win it, which is a little silly. But that brings me back to my point. Like, you're there for a competition, so play the game. If you have a ringer, that's fine, and the worst you can do is a draw. So that's fine too, because like you're still not going to win, but the worst you can do is the draw, so you're still in it. But you should have to compete, because it is a competition, at least in my opinion.
Maybe they take a written test.
My concern would only be the first round, because you didn't get the draw because you lost the game really bad. You got the draw because you got a bad draw, and it's not really your fault.
Yeah.
So maybe for the first round you get the win, but subsequent rounds the best you can get is a draw.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that.
It is pretty grimdark and representative of the lore to like go to something, simply exist, and get punished for existing. Just saying.
It's true. It's also true.
I mean, that's like half of human existence in 40K. I'm alive. Congratulations. Start working and then die.
Right. And by the way, we're going to replace half your brain with this other thing.
Yeah, after you die. Yeah. Right before you die.
So you can keep working forever on a battle barge.
You stole an extra, what we're calling a chicken wing? Okay, lobotomy.
So there's the issue of the ringer. There's the issue of when the ringer dropped, and the reason that's an issue is because, like I said, normally you have a ringer because you have an odd number of players. When the ringer dropped, it actually created an odd number of players for the fourth round, and you still needed a ringer.
Right.
So why did the ringer drop?
Because the ringer was allowed to be in competition. the ringer was now actually in competition to win the event, and so needed to drop, so they couldn't win the event. When if you had just played the ringer as a ringer should be played, this wouldn't have been an issue.
Right. Well, plus you would have the true number of players in the event.
Right. The ringer should always play the bottom person who has the bye, and they should never be allowed to win the game.
Yeah, and then there was that issue. If nobody knows what we're talking about, you should. And it basically has to do with GT in Florida, put on by, I believe it was one of the Brohammer teammates, but I can't remember.
Are we surprised in Florida? Is that a thing we're surprised about? No.
Maybe if there was more draws in the competition.
If somebody got eaten by a gator, it'd be more on brand. Or if somebody got high off of bath salts and ate somebody's face.
Somehow manages to place third while robbing a McDonald's.
Right? Yeah, it ended up in the newspaper. Florida man. Florida man dies over a game of toy soldiers.
Yeah. So
still places third.
So the other issue that compounded it was the fact that the ringer mentioned that he dropped because he didn't want to play the eventual winner. Now that I believe was spoken in jest, but I think part of the thing that I meant to mention, and that we've discussed in other groups that many of us are in, is the fact of the perception that this, or basically how this looks. I personally don't think they meant anything by it. Like, I don't think they meant to do what they did. I think they just didn't understand. The TO did admit to basically filling the numbers so he could make GT. And that's an issue itself, because the ITC has punished people for doing that basically on a number of occasions. Punishment was dealt for the TO
swiftly and harshly.
And but like I said, and the problem is, we've talked about this before in regards to perception being reality, is that it looks very sketchy.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what it is; it matters what it looks like. Unfortunately, because it's the internet.
It's the internet. It's high profile people, and and let's be honest, the higher you are, the more people want to knock you down. Yeah. And I think part of it's that too. I think part of it is that they didn't think. That's basically what it is.
Yeah. I mean, I was thinking of trying to come up with some joke about like some political leader or something saying something.
Okay, moving on.
No, that's my point. It doesn't even matter. It could be like some general making some joke about like, oh yeah, drones. We could do that all the time, and like people be like, wait, you do? Like that's the whole point. Like making a joke. Like I'm just adding to it. It's like, as someone who's said some majorly stupid shit a lot of their lives, and as I know the taste of my own shoe better than anything else. Like quite honestly, yeah, you can't just say certain things in certain positions. Like seriously.
I mean, I make jokes all the time, but like, it doesn't matter because nobody's trying to knock me down because I'm not important.
But I think
that's a good way to stay humble. If nobody's coming after you, then you're nobody, and that's perfect. So you can just keep doing whatever you want.
But the perception part applies to basically almost anything. Like whether you're in charge of a local league but you also participated and you happen to win it. Something like that. That can affect how people see not just you, but the league, the group, the store. Yeah. I mentioned that where we, in our first GT that we did for Hammer Wrath, we had 56 players. And to be honest, we thought about just throwing in 2 people and getting the 58, but in the end, we ended up not doing it.
Right.
So.
It's the thing you like to call integrity.
Yeah, but I'm not going to say I'm above like making a mistake maybe not doing the right
people
thing.
People make mistakes all the time. People cave to pressure all the time.
So and it
people
happens.
Cave to the pressure of their teammates and friends and all kinds of stuff all the time.
Oh yeah. Or money. I cave into money all the time.
Yeah, I mean I show up to work in the mornings, so I cave to money.
It is a good mental workaround where it's like you treat work as being bribed, so you had this like guilty pleasure to it, and that keeps the spice alive of working in a in the workforce, which is designed to kill humans faster.
So it's like Asante said, where he thinks there was shenanigans, but that they just made bad choices as opposed to willful, basically actively cheating.
Yeah.
What is it? It's that quote from Bad Omens. Most people think that evil is because of evil people, when actually most evil in the world is because of incredibly stupid decisions.
That's usually how it is.
Incredibly stupid people, yeah.
Sounds accurate.
So that was the GT about 2 weeks ago. The points were eventually pulled.
I think part of the thing that needs to be solved is TOs that are running events. If they're part of a team, their teammates can't win the events. That should just be a standing rule.
Right.
I mean, if you want to be a TO and want to be part of a team, cool. But an event you run can't be won by a teammate. I think that should just be a standing rule. I think there's too many events that are like built around certain areas to feed certain areas points. And
yes,
to feed certain teams points.
Yeah, and that's been going around for a long time. And Asante mentions the super teams.
Yeah, I mean, the entire state of Texas, their events can never be won by a Texan ever again, which I'm fine with.
So yeah, but
I mean, have Team Texas. That's great, but you can't win any events in Texas because if your TOs are part of Team Texas, then you can't be on it.
Well, I mean, it's also what for those what it also causes for a lot of us to possibly look at, and I think Reese mentioned that, looking into how basically the tournaments are going to go moving forward in terms of like some type of structure, because in the past, I mean, currently there's really no structure in how you run your tournament.
Yeah,
that's why they tried the Ironman, the 2-day Ironman, and by the way, their second day didn't go off because they only had 18 people after that on Sunday. But I think there's some structure that needs to be made for ITC in regards to what qualifies as a grand tournament. But
or they need to de-incentivize like fudging the numbers to make it.
Yeah, that
like maybe there should be no multiplier for GT level events. Like the only events that scale up with a multiplier after a certain number of people should just be the big ones, 100 plus, 150 plus, because nobody lies about the 100 plus ones. Nobody's lying about majors.
You don't need to.
Right.
It's all the 28 and 52.
Yeah. So I mean, if you just sure, you can call yourself a GT if you have over 28 people. Cool, that's great branding, but it won't do anything for the scores of the players there. It's just the multiplier will only be for the number of players involved, and there will be no event multiplier for that small of a thing because there's just too much room for people to fuck around and make mistakes and be stupid all over a number and a label, or really it's all over points for your teammates.
Yeah. And in regards to the super team, I think I personally think that needs to be looked at also. But
I think there shouldn't be a team award because they're not teams anyways; they're clubs.
Okay.
And so just don't have if you take the stupid award out. Now it doesn't matter if Texas is a whole team all on their own. Who cares? Still track the points, and you can have bragging rights. And then if somebody wins the bragging rights because they're team state of Texas. Cool, guy. That's great for you guys. Cool.
Or
the entire state of Texas competed as a team or as a club, and that was great. But you didn't win something.
That actually adds a cool spin to it too, because it drives community involvement. It really makes it so it's like, hey guys, let's play more games in our state. Let's play more games in our area. Let's drive our state's score up. It's kind of like the interstate leagues that are run, War Master and
Lord Marshall.
Lord Marshall, yeah.
There's a few other ones, but everyone knows Lord Marshall.
Yeah, I mean, that's but I like that as a compromise. It's more about turning it from like a bro fest of random dudes who like to get internet points to let's drive up community involvement and do something cool with that, But that makes too much sense, so it's never going to happen.
No.
Gutsy A game or no, they created one team called Team Texas, which the large number of Texans just joined.
Yeah, and not all of them, just most of them.
But a huge number of them were just like, yeah, we're just Team Texas.
I mean, let's be honest. They're not the only team to do that. If you remember Beast Coast,
Well, Brohammer too. They're gigantic teams.
Brohammer. I think our team's not a super
pretty
team.
big. But but we're not like out there like we're gonna win best team. We're gonna win best team. Like we're like, yeah, we've gotten third place and fifth place before or something like that. Like cool, we're a club.
We're gonna win best adult representation of the Little Rascals.
Right, and I think we've always been upfront.
What does that even mean?
The fact that we're
I don't know. Club. I thought it worked when I did it. When it was in my head.
That's why I just kept talking.
Oh my god. Where's the mute button?
Like we're not out there button. Like, hey, we're gonna be Team SoCal. Let's absorb Team Zero Comp. And is there another SoCal team besides us in Team Zero Comp?
I don't think there are.
We did absorb Relentless D.
One team is enough. Absorbing one team is
They're
enough.
clubs. They're not actual teams. Unless you want to have like actual like a structure to it, where you compete as a team for scores. Fine, but like really, it's not necessary. I don't think. Then you just end up with people like, hey, we're gonna add all these people to Beast Coast this year and win 5 years in a row, or let's add a bunch of people to Brohammer so we can win.
I think it was Gentleman Gaming where they added all these top tier players and then transferred all their scores because they did it right before LVO.
Yeah, something like that.
So then all of a sudden they jumped to like third place because they poached from other
like
teams.
That you don't need. Yeah. See, Don agrees with me. There should be no team prize, and it takes it right out of it. Still track the scores. That's cool. Hey, we're the best team in the league. Look at our scores. Awesome, guys. But don't give them something at LVO. Like it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter.
Speaking of LVO, or lack thereof.
Yeah, we're talking about things that aren't a thing. That's LVO.
Last episode we talked about the 90% possibility of LVO not happening, and then we got that 10% just to confirm.
I thought we said it was 99.9% sure it wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, but there's still that 1%. It is Nevada, so. So if you did get a ticket, I think
they were busy counting all their cases.
Oh my God, Tom! Jesus Christ!
Hey, what? I interject one thing. Come on.
One.
It was better than the Little Rascals thing.
More than me. You guys have been talking more than me.
Oh my God! So if you're, oh shit! Now I forgot. So if you had a ticket for LVO, be sure to visit the website or visit the Frontline, and they'll have a link to the form to fill out, and whether to let them know what you want to do with your ticket. You can either put it for next year, leave it as a donation, get store credit, or get the money back. If you ask to get the money back, you're not going to get it right away. It'll take up to 90 days. It shouldn't take 90 days, but if they get a lot of requests, it will be a while. They can't just give back all that money at once. But as far as we know, 2022 is still on. So looking forward to that.
I literally
that year it's a new location. So.
Oh, it is?
Yeah. This year, this coming 2021 was supposed to be the last year at Bally's, and then 22 is going to be at the new location. So excited about that. You can see how excited John is if you're watching the Twitch stream.
Can I ask if we know what the new location is, or is it undisclosed?
It's not disclosed.
It's undisclosed.
An undisclosed location on the strip.
Yeah.
I'm hoping for Hooters Hotel.
I mean, I know where it's at, but I'm not telling.
A parking lot.
Could
no,
be.
that's where the fights occur.
Yes.
Mm.
Well, that's not where they occur. It's where the people say they should go outside of the parking lot and then don't actually do it.
Yeah, and then instead they just go to their cars and film retirement videos.
Yes. Or apology videos.
Oh, that's true.
It can be apology. Why not both? It can be both.
Have we had an apology retirement video? That should be a goal. We should make that a goal. We should make that a goal this next ITC season.
Now, is it something where someone apologizes and as a part of their apology they retire, or are they retiring and as a result of that they're apologizing to their fans?
No, I think it should be they cheated and they're apologizing and announcing their retirement at the same time.
See, that bespokes a lot of integrity. I don't think people who would even begin to do that would have.
And I want there to be tears.
Oh, wow. Well, because I guess I'm out.
I want to meme them till they cry, and I want to make memes about them crying.
Oh, God.
See, I was about to question your reality, but then gestures at 2020.
Right. I definitely need that shirt. The Sun Tzu, meme them till they cry, then make memes about them crying shirt for the LVO 2022.
Yeah, so I'm sorry, I'm reading the chat comments. So looking forward to LVO 2022. There's other events in the works. If I can't remember if we announced them or not, so I don't want to really talk about them. But if things to be looking up, if we can get to the other side of this pandemic, then there'll be a lot of events to play at in the coming months. I know on our side locally, I was already talking to Gameology Pasadena about hosting the Battle for Los Angeles, which will most likely be in May.
Yeah, and they have the space to make it the GT comfortably, unlike the former store.
Well, they also said that if because if we do it in May, we'll probably get a lot of people with all the pent up 40K. If we need to, they said they will get the Pasadena Convention Center.
Nice.
That's cool.
A lot of pent up, a lot of stuff.
Yeah. So that's in May. We might do a Slaughterfest, as far as I know, is still on, and that's going to be at the end of July. It's basically the last Saturday of July, first, and Sunday's the 1st. Then after that, so what we may do like a small GT 3 weeks before in July.
That would be Hammer?
No, that would be like a Slaughterfest prep, because there's 5 weeks in July.
Oh, there'll be a prep GT.
Yeah, so we can do like a small 4 or 5
is
round
the
GT.
first like a Saturday or something?
It'd be it would probably be the second Saturday, which would be the week after 4th of July. So I think it's the 10th.
Oh man, is the 4th of July a weekend?
The 4th of July is on a Sunday next year.
God damn it, that's right. It was a Saturday this year, and it sucked because nobody could do anything.
Yeah.
I mean, we still went to my parents and went out on the boat, but
yeah,
that's because we were just us. Didn't matter.
And then Hammer Wrath will most likely be in, I think, September.
Okay.
I have to look at my calendar.
My calendar? You said that like you were a Southern lawyer.
Look at your schedule.
My schedule.
According to my schedule, this man could not have killed another man.
I'm just a ordinary country lawyer.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I, like my client, am just a simple man of this earth. Tend the land, go to church.
Hammer would go back to August, and it would probably be like the last weekend in August.
Cool. So it would be the same weekend as Nova.
No, because Labor Day is the following weekend.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I have most of these dates, especially for the major ones, in my head for some reason. So those tournaments look like they should go off without a hitch, but we'll see how things turn out. Things are kind of looking up
until COVID-20 hits.
Yes,
and it doesn't. And COVID-19 vaccines don't work for COVID-20.
I mean, we do have minks getting COVID.
So, and then the next year, COVID-21 hits, but it only spreads via memes on the internet.
God, that's nice knowing you, John.
Mind to mind. Look at the first victim right here on the screen, and victims 2 and 3 because I sent it to them in chat.
John's a super spreader.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not on screen, so it must be clear you're talking about Adam.
Anti-memers.
Also known as mothers.
Wow.
Also known as Karen, because Karens are in all the memes.
So moving on. Speaking of pandemics, thanks
the
to
Kyles
pandemic,
aren't anti-memers because the Kyles can't read.
Speaking of pandemic, the Death Guard Codex got pushed back to next year.
Unfortunately.
Ironically. But we're still getting a bunch of previews for it.
Yeah. The Plague Marines got pushed back by a plague. I mean, I didn't see too many memes about it because they wrote themselves. It was just too obvious, but
Yeah,
it's still funny.
It's because they're enjoying it, you know. It's like this is what they're doing. This is like what they live for. So give them a vacation. Come on,
Vacation.
So a couple rules. As everyone is seeing, disgustingly resilient has been reduced to just -1 damage as opposed to 5+ feel no pain. Basically,
dun, dun, dun.
I think it's fine.
And the internet
I don't
died.
know. It depends what groups you look at on the internet.
The Death Guard group?
If you look at the Death Guard group, everything's going to hell in a handbasket.
Don says that the Death Guard group was ironically the most toxic group ever that week.
Yes, it was. That was
how fitting.
I'm not sure if it's ironic or just not surprising.
I mean, it seems fine with damage against damage 2 weapons and somewhat in line with damage 3 weapons, especially for like heavy bolters, which reduces them back to their only damage 1. Doesn't work against usually bolters and things like that, and it applies to everything, not just the infantry. But Don seems to be fine with it, so I guess everything's fine.
Well, and the other thing too is that like there's so many other defensive elements to this game now that when we were talking about this new edition originally, the last time I was on, probably like 2 months ago, it was really just that. Also, like one of the things I predicted, or at least said, was that Death Guard were going to be insanely hard to beat because this is a very objective-based game now. It's very much about placement, movement, and sitting on objectives and being resilient. And the two armies that really do that well are Custodes and Death Guard. And so Death Guard with the cover rules and 5++ feel no pain and +2 armor save because they're sitting in cover, like hot damn, especially even with the -1, even if it doesn't stack, that's still really good.
Well, they don't get the feel no pain.
No, I know, but that's my point. And so that's what I'm saying is it makes sense that they lost that in lieu of something else that's not a bad trade-off, in all honesty, to me. Like -1 damage across almost all of their units is a pretty big deal. And also, not to mention, which I think I wouldn't be surprised if Mortarion keeps the feel no pain.
No, because they had the data sheet for Mortarion. The
Oh,
data sheet's out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, for him?
For him, yeah.
He's good. He's still good.
And then, well, you add the big thing with Death Guard is the was it the catagen?
Pathogens?
Pathogen. Is it pathogen? What's the one where they all get everyone's -1 toughness?
Oh, that's pathogens. Contagion.
Is it pathogens?
Contagions.
That's how
yeah, that one's pretty big too.
Yeah, everything within, I believe it's 6 inches of every unit is like -1 toughness.
I kind of hope when the book comes out, they've named something coronavirus, or like they make a joke.
Oh my God!
Like I want there to be a COVID grenade.
That's probably
novel
why
coronavirus grenade.
That's probably why it got delayed, because of the way they print things with re-edits. They had to read the whole book. It's totally worth it. But the contagion range is actually the range changes by round.
Man, what if there was a character named the Super Spreader?
Well, so for example, round 1 it's 1 inch, round 2 it's 3, round 3 it's 6, and 4+ it's 9. And I wouldn't be surprised if that also would stack with other minus toughness abilities like Mortarions, for example. So Mortarion actually, if he's got a contagion, he would be getting -2 because he already gives -1.
No, I think they took that.
Did they take that away too?
Yes. Did you not,
Carson?
I
guess the Super Spreader would just be a lower contagion, but you'd have to paint him orange.
I'm literally looking at all of the preview rules right now, but I do not have this mysterious Mortarion sheet that you refer to. Oh, except here's the link. God damn it. Christ. All right. Let's see.
Oh my God. Okay, I'm glad you're back on, by the way.
Well, you like it when I play myself. Congratulations, you played yourself. Oh,
why
but
is
he starts
even one of the things on our list to talk about?
Because we'll talk about next if you'll stay on topic. Go ahead, Tom. What were you saying?
Somebody had to fill the silence. You people aren't even talking about anything that matters.
Stop being me, John. Gosh.
We already have someone that interrupts all the time, John. We don't need another one.
Yeah. Also, quiet.
Interrupting cow says what?
God damn it. God fucking damn it. All right. No, but the one of the interesting actually with the contagions is that Mortarion automatically starts at the round 4 of 9 inches. So
Jesus.
Yeah. So
Well,
9
I
inches.
have a Mortarion.
Let's see.
Guess I'm playing Death Guard.
Anything else interesting with him? You can select one friendly Death Guard core character, and you can reroll the attack hits.
I think the contagion is the big thing.
Yeah, that is a pretty.
Do they have a rule that says still loses to Primaris Marine plot armor?
It's actually under his weapon profiles now, which is weird. But they actually they added the attendance claws and teeth new? I think that's new.
No, that's always been there.
Oh, well, I guess it never mattered.
That's basically the Nurglings that hang around him.
Oh,
he's always had that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he moves like a beast, though. Damn.
Yeah. So as
like he actually has the beast rule, or you're just saying he moves fast?
He's just saying he moves like a beast.
He moves 12 inches. Like, damn.
That's what it was before.
He moves like a knight.
It's in red,
Yeah.
Therefore it must be different.
I think it was 14 before, maybe.
He was faster before because he flies with his big rotten wings.
But the other thing was, I believe he doesn't have Death to the False Emperor.
No.
Are we claiming that he secretly does not want Death to the False Emperor?
I mean, he already hits on 2, so.
But it's because of something else. The Death Guard have a different rule for that now.
Is it called something else?
I think it's called something else. Let me look. Because I remember reading that and I'd be like, isn't that Death of the False Emperor? I cannot find it. Oh, you know what I'm thinking of? I'm thinking of the Hateful Assault. They have their own version of it, which is yeah, and they have their own version of Bolt or Discipline. It's called yeah. They also got
Everybody's got to be special.
They also got an inexorable advance, so as long as they didn't fall back or advance, it counts as they count as being stationary, and vehicles don't suffer the heavy penalty at enemy units within engagement range. And this is huge. Infantry keyword, it can ignore any or all modifiers to its move characteristic, advance, and charge rolls.
Oh, nice.
Which means that they're no longer, which makes sense. They're already slow movers that want to get in combat. What really bites them are things like, the Custodes grenade or other things. Yeah. So they can just ignore that now and still get into combat. That's pretty dope. It's pretty sweet, guys. It's pretty sweet.
All right. So moving on from Death Guard. So as John mentioned, an FAQ was released today, actually, Thursday, the day we're recording. And it mainly affects Space Wolves, Death Watch, and Forge World. And I specifically mentioned Forge World because there were some updates that a lot of Death Guard and Thousand Sun players are happy about. Because the update, because there were complaints when the first FAQ came out for Forge World, or when Forge World came out, it didn't specify. Hold on, I'm looking right now. That they were able to get some of the Chaos Space Marine Forge World units, like the Leviathan. Mm-hmm. So they were kind of upset about that. But in this FAQ, they actually corrected that so that you can take normal Forge World units for your Thousand Suns and Death Guard units, who apparently have the name Bubonic Astartes for Death Guard.
Bubonic Astartes.
And then Arcana Astartes for Thousand Suns.
And then there's Sanctic Astartes for Grey Knights now.
Yes. Now they're Sanctic. They're no longer Adeptus Astartes.
Ooh.
So I'm wondering, I don't think they made that change. Well, we haven't seen a book for Chaos yet, so maybe that change is going to be in the new Death Watch book. So I'm wondering. So that means certain stratagems and stuff that affect Adeptus Astartes won't be able to be used on Grey Knights if they're in a mixed army. So if you have like Ultramarines with Grey Knights, you can't use the Ultramarine or Space Marine stratagems with the Grey Knight part of your army, Grey Knight detachment.
Which I think we kind of saw coming insofar as that seemed like that was GW's intention all along, right? Is that each book gets its own stratagems and everybody else can just shove off.
Yeah, I think they're trying to make each army more distinct and less crossover.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we'll see. Well, like Don is saying that the addition of the bubonic is it looks like it might be in addition to Heretic Astartes. But I believe the FAQ says that it replaces Adeptus with the word Sanctus for if I can find the FAQ for the Grey Knights. Which, like I said, is kind of a big deal. Let me find it real quick. Change. I mean, to me, that's the bigger deal. They do clarifications in the Imperial Armor Forge World book. So, for instance, for Death Riders, for Krieg, the Death Rider commander can issue orders to infantry and cavalry when originally it couldn't. They changed some of the names for some of the weapons. Saying replace the unit's Legion keyword with Death Guard. That unit gains the bubonic Astartes keyword. So they're both Death Guard and bubonic. And it doesn't say anything about Heretic Astartes. Then for Space Wolves, it looks like it's just a few things of errata and one FAQ. Nothing too major, it looks like, or from what I've heard. Same thing with Death Watch. They did some points adjustments.
Mm-hmm.
And
it was all fairly mundane stuff. Like there
wasn't
wasn't
nothing
anything
like
earth-shattering in any of it.
I think they only did it. Oh, the only thing in Death Watch had to do, I think, with the mixed units, because there was an issue in regards to a biker in a mixed unit being able to go through a wall.
Yeah, I remember that.
And it says, change the fourth paragraph, first sentence to note that for the purposes of interacting with terrain features, if this unit contains at least one infantry model, all units in this unit are treated as infantry, even if it contains any biker models. So you have to have, it can't be like, because I think what they were doing was they're taking an all bike unit and letting it go through walls, because I think the first sentence says that that the unit is treated as infantry. So the argument was that even though it's a bike, the rule says that the unit is treated as a infantry unit. In this case, they're saying if it contains an infantry unit, then they can move as infantry unit. If there's no infantry unit, like if it was all bikes, then they can't go through walls. That's basically what this is clarifying.
Okay.
That's the only thing that stuck out to me. Yeah. And like I said, the Forge World one was really just them allowing Thousand Sons and Death Guard to like take Forge World models.
Right. And
they also included, apparently they forgot to include a Vindicator laser destroyer in the book.
Oh no!
Because everybody takes
not that.
That's so weird.
You don't even know what it is, John.
Anything with that.
It's so weird because it's so widely used. Like, I mean,
I don't know how they could forget that.
The community outrage, palpable.
Just man, guys, this game's literally unplayable. No, I can't even believe this. This is literally unplayable.
So because of that, they probably updated. If you have the GW app, or were app curious,
Warhammer 40K is like playing Cyberpunk 2077 on a PS4. I want a refund. Where's my money back? Take it out of the Play Store.
They finally released at least a beta for the Army Builder.
Yeah.
I don't think you have. Have you used it, John?
I played around with it, yeah. It's fun. I like it. I don't like that when they updated it deleted the lists.
Oh yeah,
but I do like that they are updating it consistently and taking feedback.
And they said in the article too that they're like, yeah, we know this sucks, but like it's just part of the build right now, and eventually that won't happen. But I mean, the fact that you didn't outright decry it being a GW product is actually pretty high praise. Just to clarify for people maybe not as familiar with John.
Tom, have you tried it yet?
No, I have not. No, unfortunately.
I have it. I've had it. I just subscribed from the beginning. So that's still an issue for people.
I think I still have it on the.
But
yeah, I still have the Warhammer 40k app.
Yeah, I literally used it earlier today.
Yeah, I've been playing with the Army Builder. It's actually it's very intuitive. I think I feel I didn't have any trouble trying to figure it out.
I don't know why people are so attached to Battlescribe, which constantly lived up to its acronym.
Because they know how to use it now, and they want to pay off for all that time they spent.
I know how to use all kinds of stuff that sucks, and if there was something else I could use instead of it, I would. That doesn't mean just because it's your currently only option that it's good. Yeah,
so I enjoy it. I've been using it other than Battlescribe. I haven't used the Battlescribe since the app came out, because I've been building armies with that. And yeah, it sucks. It gets deleted when something's fixed, but I think they mentioned that, like Tom said, and that'll eventually get fixed.
It's not as if this is what the app is. They're literally working on fixing it all the time and making it better. I mean, everybody's like, I want a finished product. Sure, I get it, but I also want a product, and I want proof that it's going to be fixed and functioning. Like, there are some products that year after year fail all the time, and people still use them.
Yeah, year after year, around January, February. So I enjoy it. I pay the $5 a month. I think if you sign up now, you get a free month, especially to try out the beta.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now, actually.
Yeah, like Don is saying, it has errors, which I've seen.
Yeah.
But the baseline is functional, which is probably more important. Yeah. And the output is much easier to read than Battlescribe.
Yes.
Which is probably most important.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah. And so that brought up the question of, I think someone asked in our TO group, and I've seen it asked in other places, like the Comp 40K group.
Which one? The one you're not allowed to talk about things posted in, or the one you are?
Well, it's already been asked.
Ban you.
It's already been asked in the Comp 40K group. So
look, I'm really just looking for a reason to ban you from the TO group.
You don't need a reason.
Adam begs for death.
If you didn't ban certain other people for talking out of the group, you're not going to ban me.
We have banned people for talking out of the group.
Oh, no. I will discuss who we're talking about after the show.
Oh, cool, because I want to know. I'm always in favor of a chance to swing the ban hammer.
So it may have been out of your hands. So
okay.
But the question that came up in at least Comp 40K and is whether the GW app would be the official app for events. Like, you has to be made through the GW. And this was discussed when the app first came out, or was first talked about, I should say, many moons ago.
Man.
I don't think it'll be adopted by every event, but I think the major events will probably end up using it.
I mean, once it functions, there's no reason why the major events wouldn't switch.
Right. I mean, that's what I'm saying. So because some people can't afford $5 a month, John. There's people out there that cannot afford, that need their Starbucks or coffee bean, whatever floats your boat.
But that's just one day of Starbucks.
Yeah, but they can't live without.
Every day.
I honestly could not care less. Like, if that's where the argument's coming from, I honestly could not care less about the argument. I'm not even going to get into it with people.
That's mostly what people mention is the money part.
Plus, because I'm a TO, I'm not a TO. I'm just a judge. I won't care. It won't be my call. So whatever.
We just have to enforce it.
For me,
If you're going to complain, okay, fine. That's fine. Fine. Let's do this.
No,
You can't
please,
play
John.
a game where your army literally costs you thousands of dollars in some cases, and then complain about $5 for an app that has the rules that you need to play your army on it and to build your list. Just shut the fuck up about your $5.
Well, plus you can just have your if you buy you have to buy your codex, and it has the code. If you put the code in, you have your army list on your phone as opposed to carrying all these books around.
Right.
So
Not
you
to
complain
mention,
about
like, for a couple of you guys complaining about it that I've seen, it's literally one less hamburger at lunch during the tournament for that entire month.
I feel personally attacked.
Wait, just to clarify, it's a monthly subscription, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. See, I'm not opposed to that. It's just I'm not going to events right now, so I'm not going to subscribe to that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So then you just don't. Like, I'm not yet either.
Yeah, but when it's GW time and we're all in the post-Rona world with our cybernetic vaccines and our mind control raids that make us buy more Amazon, then I'm fine. I'll do it.
I'm just saying, if that vaccine does have something in it like that, I just want Bill Gates to make so I win events.
Well, let's put it this way: one of the more disconcerting videos on the internet right now is the head of a nursing unit saying, "Oh yeah, I got the vaccine earlier today, my entire staff," and then she faints. And it's like, oh,
I too love staged videos.
Oh my god. Okay. Nice tangent. So if you haven't given it a try, give the app a try. I don't think you'll be disappointed. If you expect it to be perfect, then I have a video game you guys could try out and see and you can compare. Especially if you have a PS5 or a Xbox. What do we have next? So going from there,
I'm really having a hard time getting over people being mad about $5 a month.
Apparently you haven't seen the discussions about how $5.
You have any idea how hard it was for me to not comment? You know what? I didn't comment because there was zero chance I was going to be able to be nice. So I just didn't do it. But then you had to bring it up on the show, and then I had to make a comment about
it's
one
a
less
thing.
hamburger.
I don't understand it either. It's $5. I mean, a box of acolytes is like $60, and you're
some
going
of
to
you
pay that.
some of you could do with drinking one less beer at lunch.
You know what? Fuck
because
you,
then
don't.
at least I wouldn't have to put up with you being drunk
How dare you?
and loud and ridiculous during round 3 or 2.
You dirty piece of shit.
And it could keep you from getting that headache in round 3.
See, I'm trying to help you. GW is trying to help you.
No, I'm trying to help them.
Yeah.
Some of you need to drink less.
By some of you, we mean Tom.
Dare you? The camera's not on, but I'm currently drinking beer. So there you go.
Failing to live up to the salty moniker, I feel like that's sarcasm. I feel like you're lying.
Well, it's because I think people took the original Salt with like you had this rage and this passion, like you really gave a shit about hating, and now it's like you hate because it's just part of your day and you're just exhausted and you're just trying to like get through it so you can get to your hentai and go to
I think
bed.
the problem is people expect it to be something it's not because it's not a real thing. Because it was invented by Adam and Travis after I went to a tournament once.
Okay,
Oh, it's a real thing.
It's not.
Yes, it is. Isante says that his only issue is that you have to own all the books, where with Battlescribe you don't. But the difference, though, Isante, is that most events, especially like LVO and the bigger events, don't count Battlescribe as an official source.
No.
We've had people show up to the event with no codexes, no books, and just pointed to their Battlescribe. And the fact that we don't recognize Battlescribe as being official, you'll get a yellow card at the very least if you don't have your codex with you.
And we'll rule against you too, out of hand. You don't have the rule book with you, either digital form or in hard copy form. You get ruled against you. Because
so
Battlescribe has too many errors, and so we don't accept it as the rules because it's not the rules.
What if it's
and Battlescribe you can actually change the values of if you want, if you're unscrupulous like that. if you can edit it yourself if you know how.
What if it's the King James version of Battlescribe?
No,
That's still worse. Is that the official version though?
That joke is way funnier than you guys are giving it credence to. Come on, the King James version of
Oh my god!
I was gonna follow up with "Do a Reims."
Screeching halt! I can hear the tires right now. Screeching halt. So and plus because the army builder is built by the company that produces the game,
right?
I mean that even if it's wrong, at least it's wrong for everybody, not just people that have X version or Y version.
Yeah, and that's a fair point too, because it's a standard,
Yeah, I mean that being said, that means it's not going to be required at every tournament, but at the major tournaments, you'll probably see it being required, in my opinion.
Would you say it's probably more likely for tournaments that GW themselves are involved in? Like, for example, they're very clearly involved in LVO, probably SoCal at some point.
I wouldn't be surprised, but again, LVO's a year off, so who knows?
Yeah.
Now, LVO's over a year off.
Hey, which may mean I might make it to that one. Who knows? We'll see.
You won't.
Thanks.
Not as long as you have that same job.
Well, no, I'm technically getting a different one, but
in the same company.
Yeah, so my chances went up by like 3%.
From 0 to 3?
Yep.
But you're saying there's a chance.
There's a chance.
Yeah. I will go full Dumber and Dumber on this.
You haven't already?
Yeah. Sadness reigns.
So that's basically where the app's at right now. I'm pretty excited about it. And you know what? It's almost like a non-factor in regards to the monthly charge because I don't really see it. So, much like my paycheck. But I'm bump. So moving on.
I thought you were saying you're just swimming in so much Patreon cash. It's just what's another personal expense on the fire, right?
The Patreon cash barely covers my OnlyFans expenditure.
You mean the hosting fees or the service subscription fees?
I'll let you guys figure that out.
Could be worse. You could have the legal fees.
No, that's called a one-way ticket to a different country. That's the legal fees.
I mean, I don't view that as a loss.
Depends what country you go to.
A win-win, right?
So like I mentioned earlier, this is basically the last episode of the year. Next year, we're hoping for bigger and better things. I already mentioned the GTs that we're going to be doing next year. Tom, do you have any plans for Games Workshop products?
Oh, glad you
Games
specified
Workshop
that.
hobby?
For me next year, it's hobby-wise, it's really hard for me to get into a project unless I'm like preparing for something and like really trying to hone my skills on something.
Yeah.
Same.
Girl.
That said, if Darktide comes out anytime soon, I will play the shit out of that.
What the hell is Darktide?
It's the Vermintide, but for 40k.
Yeah. You play a inquisitorial kill team, basically. But it's Imperial Guard.
All seriousness, no. Like if and when the local scene comes back and we're able to start playing again, I'll probably jump in with my Grey Knights army that I invested in and massively paid it up and spent so much time with, only to play one tournament with, and then COVID.
Yep. Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
I still have my whole Grey Knight army over there half built that I was going to take the Barry Open.
Yeah. So,
which is basically the same one that we workshopped with you. I mean, so it was very similar, the two.
Well, and the other thing too is I have all the new Space Marine models from the Indomitus. So if the fancy really strikes and I'm not working on other hobby stuff, I could finish my Alpha Marines in that painting.
Or you may finish the the show army.
Oh, the White Scars. Oh, I forgot about that.
Which is what I gave you the models for.
I know, and then Danny's like gonna scalp me if I don't get them done.
He will too. Yes.
And you don't think? I mean, I'm not saying that lightly. Like I've never had a kill pact with someone, so it's kind of weird.
If Games Workshop ever gets Space Wolves in stock again, I'll be working on those.
Yeah.
Do you
no.
need
So
Wolfen? Do you need Wolfen? There's Wolfen at the store.
it's Thunderwolf Cavalry and Dreadnoughts. That's what I'm waiting
I'm
on.
telling. Did you talk? Did you talk to Quan?
I don't want anything painted. I want unpainted.
Check with the store because I know they got a new shipment of GW stuff.
Cool. I will
Check and see what they have.
I have stuff on order. It's back ordered, so it's
Oh.
literally if they ever get the stock, it will literally come to me.
Okay. I mean, you can always sell if you have extras, but I'm just saying.
What about you, Adam?
Yeah,
What are
Wolf
your-
and Dreads with Action Shield is what I'm going to run down.
I'm kind of having the same issue in regards to what to do next. So I have armies built, but because I have no direction as to, I don't have a tournament, I don't have, a game or a league or anything to prepare for. I don't know what I should work on next. You know what I mean?
I remember you were talking about Krieg at one point. When
I have the Krieg and I can put them together, but even after that, do I paint them? Do I paint my other stuff, my historical stuff, my?
You don't paint.
I don't. I usually need something to push me to finish the project.
Some kind of impetus.
Yeah. If I don't have that, I kind of get like analysis paralysis, and I don't know where to turn. What should I do? This? Should I do this? What I don't. So I'm a little lost in that regard.
I've been painting up some of my Indominus stuff, and like I painted up some Space Wolf Terminator from Forge World, and things like that. Like slowly doing things. I should finish I have 2 Forge World Knights. I have the one with the flamer, the Acheron. How do you pronounce it? I got the Lancer, and then I have a bunch of the little knights sitting around that I should finish because knights are easy. But like,
yeah.
am I ever gonna? Yeah, I have Armigers and I have Helvarians. I have the both. So
yeah, I was gonna say out of all of us, you're the only one that's been posting recent actual progress pics.
Well, that all had to stop because we were all home this week, so the desk over there got taken over by Edwin, so he could do school.
I just got sad for you again.
I also plan to read like 24 books next year.
You plan to read?
If I finish what I'm currently working on, I think I will have done 21 since March 16th when we went on quarantine, and I said I was going to try to read 2 books a week.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I've been.
I'm sorry, a book every 2 weeks, not 2 books a week. A book every
2
2
books a week.
Damn, son. Like,
yeah, I think I'm on 21.
So you're saying we're going to do a book club for the show?
No, you know what? Nobody ever does it. I've tried that before. Like I was in an online group where people were like, "Yeah, we're going to read books," and then nobody did it.
No, I mean you're going to have recommendations every episode.
Sure, we can do that. It's fine with me.
Since we do episodes every 2 weeks.
actually, one of your recommendations you gave to me, I'm in the new year. I'm probably going to pick up because John, John.
Which one?
The 3 body problem.
Oh yeah.
I couldn't get through. Couldn't get through the first part. I have to try again.
I have to get the 3rd book. That's good. I think that's my first thing I'm going to get in the new year to read is that the last book in the series.
Because like I used to see, the thing is I used to be a super prolific reader because I would read on my commute, and I'd have like at least 30 to 40 minutes a day, one way where I'd read on my Kindle, and it was great. That's how I got through so many freaking 40K novels and everything else. And then commuting stopped, and don't get me wrong, I love not commuting, but I miss reading, and so I have to really carve out the time. And so, in terms of self-improvement, if we want to talk about overall, it's better time allocation, not management. I'm good at managing my time. I want to be better at allocating it in a way that I'm like proud of at the end of the week.
Yeah. You know what I've found? Instead of like allocating, so we have reading time at night as a family, generally speaking, but that's only like 30 minutes to an hour. It's not that much. So basically, if I'm in the living room and the TV's on, I'm reading the book instead of watching the news or whatever's on, or like if the kids are having 30 minutes, if the kids are having their 30 minutes of screen time for the day, I read while they do their screen time. So it gives me that extra 30 minutes. So I try to be like, I'm going to carve out time, but with the exception of like carving out the time for the whole family to do it, it's practically impossible with 2 kids.
Oh yeah, no, because everyone's on their own schedules and routines, and like, there's only like, it's funny when you said we have family reading time. I kind of imagined all of them sitting on the couch, and one of you was on a lectern, like reading passage from something.
No,
And
like
thus spoke Zarathustra.
no, like Eve just finished Charlotte's Web on her own.
Oh, nice.
It took her like 2 weeks, I think. But I mean, she's only in 2nd grade, but so
No, it's still great. I mean, that's awesome. That's a great book.
Edwin
But,
did the one and only Ivan, and then we watched the movie. That was good.
Oh, okay.
I liked the book too.
I thought for a second I thought you meant Ivanhoe, which is one of my favorite medieval books of all time.
And I didn't count any of the 40K books I listened to.
Well,
Like, I just don't count those because I listened to them.
now you're just bragging.
I listen nowadays more than I read, but I'm actually listening to Infinite and the Divine, which is a Necron about Oricon and Trajan. Yeah, it's really good. It's just really good.
I've heard it's really good, actually.
Yeah.
Because I think I can get. Yeah, I need to get that then.
I only listen to 40K when I paint.
Oh no, I listen to different stuff. I use Audible more than I read nowadays. I just finished the one Reese recommended, which was Can't Hurt Me, which is more of a motivational book. But that one was really good too.
Zeb wants to know if we're going to be planning events at Odyssey Games in Pasadena when COVID restrictions are lifted. As far as I know, we are planning events, big events only, and they'll only be in conjunction with Gameology because they sponsor
Gameology. Zeb, without getting too into it, we had issues with Odyssey in regards to one of their employees who still works there, I believe. And as long as that one employee still works there or is still associated with Odyssey. At least I personally don't plan to go there. I can't control what John or Tom or what the other members of our club do, but for myself, I'm going to Gameology as opposed to Odyssey. Mm-hmm. But Odyssey does have someone that I believe they have someone that can run events. He's actually running their TTS online league. So
yeah, his name's Andrew. He's a cool guy.
Yeah, I played in with him in the league, and our league, as far as I know, is not going to be tied to one store. So
our league has not been tied to a store in a long, long time. Since I took over running the leagues a while ago before passing it off to Jeff, one of the first things I did was say that the league was not attached to the store. And so
it allows us to get more people too.
Yeah, and people can play wherever they want. Like, it's fine. Gameology is in Old Town Pasadena by Buca de Beppo on Green Street.
Yeah, if you know where Buca de Beppo is, it's right there. Or what's the bar? White Horse?
Yes, it's right down from the White Horse. On DeLacy.
Yeah, it's just right there. Yeah. It's a really nice location. There's plenty of parking, but I mean, there's parking meters, which is it doesn't matter. It's almost like the app thing. It's only like a couple dollars or but there's a parking structure right around the corner also,
which is 90 minutes free.
90 minutes are free.
Mm-hmm. And I will always rather pay for parking because I can have parking than go to the Odyssey location, the former Game Empire location, where I'd have to park down the street anyways on the street and then have to move my car or get a ticket or it was just because the parking lot sucked. Yeah. Or get towed in the own lot because the people put up all the stupid signs. So
I remember watching one time a lady stopped parked in the street on Allen, and it was right like at 3:55 or something, and she went in to ask Chuck a question, but it took so long to answer or get the right answer that her car got towed at like 4:01.
Yep, I remember that.
But you can also go. There's also like Italian. I know there's a sushi place. There's the bar. There's a lot of places to eat.
Which is like the Japanese barbecue place.
Yeah, there's like a cafe. There's like a
down the street, which is also like great bar food. And then there's Beer and Claw, which is right there. There's a chicken place right there that has great chicken sandwiches.
And there's basically a cafe right next. It's literally right next door to the store.
Yeah, there's the cafe right next to it. So there's all kinds of good options.
I don't think there's any Nazis near there, Zeb. I don't know.
No, he's talking. I think he's talking about the ticket.
The ticket people. Yeah, It's well, I mean, when you're enforcing parking tickets, but also have a double skull on your hat, it's kind of weird.
They haven't been enforcing the parking stuff in Pasadena for a while now. Like since COVID started, they got very, very lax about it.
They technically started up again, but I think they're only going after people who are blatantly disobeying.
Yes.
But
I think because they have been coming, because when I go to Gameology, they have been coming around.
Yeah, they care in Old Town. They
Yes.
care on Lake. But where
Yeah,
I live right by Lake, and they don't care here. Like there's a car that I parked out in front of our place for like 4 or 5 hours the other day because I needed to because the plumber was in the back working on a pipe. There was no problem. They didn't even come by.
yeah.
They're only doing it in certain areas.
See, it's funny because like my old apartment, there was only one lane of parking, and it was exempt from overnight statutes. But like, dear God, it was impossible to park. Where I live now has 2 lanes of parking, one on each side of the street, and still exempt overnight. And I'm like, this is amazing. Like I could park, I have my own parking space, but I could park here overnight if I wanted to. Yeah, it's just
Yeah, so
Hello,
check out
Axis.
Gameology. There's also a Gameology in Upland. There's 2. So.
But so for 2021, it's the tournaments plus whatever army I feel like doing once things get going. I think I just need to build the creek, and then I don't know. I may just paint them first. I don't know. Like I said, I need something to motivate me to paint or whatever.
Yeah.
Hello, Axis, and then and so I need to figure something out. There's a lot of shit I got to do.
yeah. No,
But,
I have a lot of hobby projects too. Just like, and white scars. I used to paint the goddamn white scars.
Yeah, you promised to do a lot for us, Tom.
Just the white scars. I
Huh?
offloaded the Necrons onto John.
Well, John took that from you because he's a better painter. According
Well,
to John.
you know what? I went total Leonardo DiCaprio Inception on that, so y'all can't hurt me.
Yeah. Okay, you can claim whatever you want.
I'm gonna do my little chicken dance over here. Just like,
Okay, so that's the plan. There is a programming note if you follow the Focused Fire Facebook page that they're moving to just once a month for the episodes. So we'll probably have some other type of show also. We haven't really decided what to do yet, but look for something else, something extra, maybe. Probably. We'll see.
or maybe just us being extra. You never know.
No.
I didn't sign up for that. It's not in my contract. Do I have a contract?
No.
Huh.
Which is how it works.
Interesting.
I mean,
So moving on.
It's almost like this is the real
stretch.
thing.
Home stretch, John. Home stretch. Real quick, I don't believe there's any questions in the chat other than the events.
Axis took flying lessons, which is cool.
Oh wow.
Congratulations
no,
on that. I don't ever want to learn to fly.
he called us
That sounds
flying.
scary.
I think Don Battle for LA looks like it's going to be in May, most likely the second weekend in May
In Pasadena.
in Pasadena at Gameology Pasadena.
Or at the convention center, but through Gameology Pasadena.
Yeah, they would they said they would get the convention center for us if we had if we had a influx of players all of a sudden like that wanted to play. Mm-hmm. But we'll take it easy the first time and see how many we get and go from there because we don't know what the restrictions are going to be yet. So we'll have to play it by ear as we get closer to that date. But for now, that's the plan. We'll see what goes on. No questions in the chat other than the events. One question from John from John from Laverne. He wants to know if we would get the vaccine, and then he put the meme, the Fry meme, with that John. I know John likes.
Yes.
With the Fry giving money, it says blue pill makes pee go hard.
Yeah. Same company says take this vaccine to save your life.
And then suspicious Fry.
Yes, I would take it right now. I wish I could get it right this second.
Yeah, I have no issues with taking the vaccine. Considering what people eat and not knowing what's in the food they eat, there's other concerns than what's in the vaccine.
I don't even need to make a logical reasoning for it. I'm just going to take it because I don't want to get the other thing, and I want my life to go back to normal. And if that will help my life go back to normal, then I will do it. Everybody complains about how their life can't be normal, but then they won't do the one fucking. They won't do any of the things that'll make their life be more normal.
I'm in the middle.
I will take it if everybody in the United States Congress takes it first, because that way, if they're alive, then whatever, and if they're not, then I'm happy and I'll take it.
Yeah, but if you take it and you're dead, who cares? Because you're dead.
Pence and Biden are taking it, or already did, or something like that, right? I think I saw that.
Biden is in line to take it. He's not jumping to be first. I know that much. Pence, I don't know, to be honest.
There was something about Pence is taking it, yeah.
Yeah, and yes, Tom is never normal.
Nope, not.
Oh no, Tom doesn't think Congress knows anything. He just wants them to be the guinea pigs because he doesn't like them.
Yeah, because guess what? If they survive, then great. Who cares? It means the vaccine works. And if they don't, then great. Who cares? Because now our government's better because they're dead.
Right.
Oh God. Okay, moving on.
Yeah, Don, we know the Congress doesn't know anything about medicine. We are an enlightened podcast.
They don't know about anything. So.
So how do you make money, sir? Senator, we run ads.
Oh God. I'm not gonna. Okay, moving on. We can go so far down that rabbit hole. Just a reminder for everybody that
Zeb, welcome. This stream is usually dark.
The end of the year is also our end of the year haiku contest. We've already had a number of people send in their haikus. The subject can be anything for 2020. So it's not about John. So John can actually read them and vote. Just send the email to tfgradiopodcast@gmail.com with the subject line haiku or haiku contest and enter. And the first prize is basically a GW Lord of War non-Forge World for all these prizes. Second place will be a vehicle. Third place is a troop box. Then fourth place will be a character clan pack.
Can they all be Baneblades?
I just said what they were. Baneblade is a Lord of War.
Right. No, I'm saying, can we just make it so that everyone we give out is a Baneblade?
Well, prizes.
It'd be like the Bay Area Open where Don won and I came in second, and they gave away like Castellans and Valiants to everybody.
Our sponsor is Gameology Pasadena, and they are providing all the prizes. So thank you for Chad and Iggy for allowing us to have this contest with those prizes. And it's of your choice. You can choose whatever you want. Just know if it's something that's always out of stock, it's probably going to be a while.
Right, because if it's always out of stock, it's always out of stock. They won't magically have one.
But that's not how my opinions work.
So get those in by the 31st. Our first episode in the new year, which will most likely be on the 7th, we'll announce the winner. And I believe that's it. I don't think there's any other questions. Once again, the show is sponsored by, as I mentioned before, Gameology Pasadena. They're in Old Town Pasadena. You can go to their Facebook page. Just look up Gameology Pasadena. You can also visit their website, which is the website for both the Upland and Pasadena store, which is gameologygames.com. You don't have to be in the Southern California area to shop there. You can be anywhere around the world to shop. If you're looking for the Christmas Battle Forces, they did just get a shipment in. They have every one of them except for the Tau one for some reason, because that's sold out for them already.
I just thought they wouldn't order one because nobody wants Tau.
No, they ordered everything, but the Tau ones went like really quick. They put them up on their website and they went quick. So if you're still looking for the Battle Forces, check out their website. And like I said, they still have the Chaos Tyranid, the Necron one, which seems to be really popular. They said the Chaos and Necron are the ones that are selling the most. So
cool. Necrons look fun, so that makes sense.
So just check out. And when you do, if you do go online, just mention you heard about it on TFG Radio. Just let them know that we're helping them out. So we get some kind of more pull for contests and things like that. The other sponsor and longtime sponsor is Tony from Hammerhead Games, which hammerheadgames.net, but also on the Shark Tank, which is his new store, who just moved into his new location, bigger location.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. I'm seeing the pictures on the internet. It's in Sacramento, for those of you who don't know.
Yeah. You can look up, just look up Shark Tank on Shark Tank consignment if you want to look up the consignment. He does have a lot of consignment product. So if you look up there, there's a lot of good prices on that. Yeah. So,
Plus, he has
give them a look.
Yes.
It's hammerheadgames.net and Shark Tank and Gameology Pasadena or gameologygames.com. I believe that's it. If you're still on us, we do have our annual Christmas song. And then I think...
Oh, yeah.
Is there anything else? Tom, can you think of anything else?
I mean, here's to a hopefully better year.
Don't jinx it. Let's just have a normal year.
I mean, I don't know.
I'm not even going to talk about it yet. I'm just going to pretend. Wake up one morning. Maybe everything will be normal.
Yeah, John, any last words for the new year?
No. Don't write haikus about me.
It's not always about you, John.
Do you know what the people make it about me? Because,
Please,
I don't know why.
Please write them about John. Please do it. Please.
Yeah, I haven't looked at the haiku, so I don't know if they're any about John, to be honest.
I think it was David Singer wrote a pretty good one last time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
from
this
last
was
year.
pretty good last time. I mean, I don't know. I don't read these things.
All right, so I think we're going to call it here. Thanks to everybody for listening for the last year and last 6 years. If you've been listening that long,
Fuck. Thanks for listening to the last 20 minutes. Jesus. If you made it through those last 20 minutes, you are a fan, and probably gonna need to sue for compensation of some type.
God, call this number for compensation. Again, thanks again for listening, watching all the different media that we use. Hopefully we'll have a better year next year. With that being said, happy holidays and good night, everybody, and have a pleasant tomorrow.
Good night, everybody.